Hello students, welcome to the academia. Today I will discuss the immunology. So let's see, what about immunology? What is the introduction of it? So different type of things which can take entry in our body through the skin, through the mucous membrane, through food and water, and through air. The germs, pollutants can easily enter inside our body. There are two levels of defense mechanism. Human defense system. Number one is local defense mechanism. Number two, the immune system. The primary local defense system tries to form mechanical barrier, thus preventing the entry of germs. Generally, we are exposed to different type of germs surrounding us. The immune system fights the germs after they have entered into the body. But all the time we are not affected. But if the germs enter inside our body, then the system works. The advantages of the local defense system is there are quick response, can fight against a wide range of potentially infectious threats and independent of previous exposure to infections. So let's see the local defense system, how it works. It consists of protective mechanical barriers, germs or foreign bodies thrown out if entered, germ killing secretion and germ fighting white blood cells. The primary mechanical barriers like skin, hair, mucus, as I have already told. So the mucous lining traps the darts. The skin is made up of protein keratin. It forms a protective covering on the body and is impermeable to the germs. Any cut or injury on the skin opens the way for the germ to invade the body. Otherwise, the skin is very much protective. The mucus is a very slimy section of the epithelial cells that forms a delicate covering of many organs, the inner covering of our internal organs also. The mucus present inside the windpipe also protect us from the different darts and germs. Even if the germs enter the respiratory tract or the digestive system, they are thrown out by this. Sometimes loose motion or diarrhea also help to clear the digestive tract of the germs. So there are different ways which our body take. Saliva, sweat, tears and nasal secretions contain several germ killing enzymes like saliva having some proteolytic enzymes. Even when you see in the stomach, there are HCl which is secreted from the stomach mucosa and which have a good protection against the germs. The WBCs or phagocytes are the cells of the immune system. They fight with the foreign materials and prevent the body from the different type of infections. The WBC squeeze out of the blood capillaries by the process of diapedesis and destroy the germs. This process is called phagocytosis, and we all of you know about the process. The WBC help in this way. Now the immune system. In certain cases, the microbes invade all the mechanical barriers and enter the deeper tissues and organ systems. So the primary action fails to protect our body and they enter inside the cell or inside any organ. Under such cases, the human body produces special protein called antibodies and antitoxins to fight against the threat. Immunity is defined as the capacity of our body to deal with foreign substances such as bacteria, virus, toxin, etc. that can enter our body and to render them harmless. So what are the types of immunity? Innate immunity and acquired immunity. So let's see what is this. Innate immunity is by the virtue of the genetic constitutional makeup of the body. It is there in the body without any external stimulation or previous infection. It is inborn in our body, which is called innate immunity. The innate immunity having specific immunity and non-specific immunity. So what is specific immunity? It is natural resistance against a specific germ only. Specific immunity means the natural resistance of humans against distemper. What about the non-specific immunity? It is the natural resistance to all kinds of infections in general, like the natural resistance of human against different plant diseases. Now moving to acquired immunity, which we acquired is the resistance which an individual acquired during his or her lifespan. Now in the acquired immunity, it is actively acquired immunity and passively acquired immunity. So let's see what are these. Actively acquired immunity is a resistance developed due to a previous infection or due to an antigen. What is antigen? Antigen is the chemical found on the surface of the disease causing germ cell. If the antigen is introduced in the body by artificial means during vaccination, which is a very common term, it can lead to an artificially acquired active immunity in the body. On the other hand, if the antigen enters his body naturally, it is called naturally acquired active immunity. This kind of resistance is possible due to some previous infection if the person suffered from any disease or entrance of antigen into our body naturally. Then against them there are formation of the antibodies. In either cases, body's lymphocytes react by producing antibodies or killer cells. The produced antibodies circulate in the blood and the lymph, thereby killing all the other microbes. Passively acquired immunity. It is the introduction of ready-made antibodies from an outside source. So, it is of two types, naturally acquired passive immunity. In this type of defense mechanism, the prepared antibodies of the mother enter into fetus through the placenta. In artificially acquired passive immunity, the antibodies are extracted from the blood of some animals and injecting germs into their bodies. So, we can see here the process. The serum containing the antibodies is collected and used to make anti-serum injections like antivenin or anti-diphtheria. These injections are then injected into the victim's body. For example, in the treatment of snake bite, antivenin injections are given to the patient. So, which is example of artificially acquired passive immunity. So, we see that the immunity is innate, which is inborn, and acquired. The acquired is of active and passive. Now, let's focus on the antibodies. Antibodies are special chemicals found in the blood that fight germs or their secretions. The specialized lymphocytes on exposure to antigens produce antibodies. These specialized lymphocytes are present in the lymph nodes, spleen, lymph, and in the circulating blood. Antibodies are proteins belonging to the class of immunoglobulins. Antibodies are specific as one kind of antibody acts only against one type of antigen. So this is called specificity. An antibody, after recognizing its antigen binding site, binds with it and renders it harmless, which is later destroyed and eliminated by the body. So here are some examples of short period immunity like common cold, cholera, and long period immunity like smallpox, measles.